Morning world, back again. Some people call me poet, some people call me prophet. My presentation name is not for sale, because the gift God gave this man, you can't put a price on it. Take all those names, throw them away. They don't mean anything. The only name I want you to remember on this platform is the characteristics of Jesus, the knowledge of the universe of God. That's the names I want you to remember when I leave. Now, I have to clean up. Should I clean up my mess? I had made a statement with my tapes that God don't want us following rules and regulations. Let me break that down to you so you'll understand what I'm saying. God said He was going to write His commandments on the table of His people's hearts. In other words, them people will become the rule. You understand? I'm not saying that you follow rules and regulations, but when you become that, you are no longer bound to rules and regulations. Because when you're walking in the Spirit, you understand what I'm saying? So the Ten Commandments are just put there to make you aware of your sin. Without them, you understand what I'm saying? You wouldn't know whether you were sinning or not. Just by you following, just by you mechanically following, that doesn't make you clean. But you have to become the rule. Okay? And by doing that, it's that every time that you do something right, it's called positive reinforcement. Once you do something right, just like when you was doing wrong, it became a habit. When you start doing things right, it will become a habit. So it becomes second nature to you. You understand what I'm saying? So now when I come out, certain things I know because it's already in my innate being. But let me give you a story, you understand what I'm saying? And I've given this story to people before, and I want to give it to you again on this platform. There was this teacher, the monk. And he had a student that was following him. And so they're getting ready to go down to the city. So on their way to the city, there was this woman. And it was on her wedding day, and she was getting ready to go into the place of where they were going to have her wedding. And there was a large mud puddle there. So the place at this time where he studied it, they had a tradition for over 1,000 years that you're not allowed to touch a monk's clothes. So what happens is he sees this lady. He sees that she cannot cross the mud puddle. So the monk went over and scooped her up into his arms. She touched his clothes. Now, the student started ripping his clothes. And started praying and started ripping his clothes. Because here this monk has broke a tradition that had over 1,000 years. So in him breaking that tradition, they get up into the city, and now the young monk is going to go back to the monastery and snitch on the teacher. He said, before I do this, he said, let me ask him why he did it. He went to the monk, and he asked the monk, he said, why did you allow that woman to touch your clothes when we've had a tradition that we've held for 1,000 years? This is a rule. And you know what the monk told him? He said, it's not I who carries this woman. It's you. I left her back in the city. Other words, what was more honorable for him to do? It was honorable for him to leave that woman in front of that mud puddle on the best day of her life. You understand what I'm saying? or to follow that rule. You see, so he had become the rule. You understand what I'm saying? And if this is what we should be trying to do. God said he'd write his commandments on the tables of our hearts in the last day. So I say all that to say this, I want to clean up that statement where God don't want you following rules and regulations, because people can misinterpret that. And I did not mean that, no, you're not only supposed to listen to them, you're supposed to become them. And this is what God is trying to get us to do. So, it's a sunny day. I'm not working today. I'm sitting over with some of my friends, and we're going to just be kicking it around. And you know what I'm saying? I'll be picking up things along the way to bring them back to y'all. So if nobody told you they love you today, I do. So let these things be written in heaven. So let them be done.